what was working for you today. You got 11 strikeouts, and just kind of keeping that up over the course of a game when you guys were up by so much.
Just kind of pitching off my fastball. Honestly, I've been struggling locating the fastball lately, and just kind of pitching off my changeup. But just wanted to locate fastball early, and then let the other stuff work.
Tom?
Gabe, congratulations on the win. You wound up keeping that streak to 20 2/3 without any earned runs, and they got you in the 6-for-1. But how good were you about just keeping your focus and maintaining it though in a route like this? And sometimes I know you had like 30 minutes between innings a couple of times there. Was it difficult at all to stay focused?
I mean, coach came up to me in between innings, and I know we were putting it on, but the main thing in this kind of game is just to keep focused and not let down and work on your stuff as much as you can. Do the good things for your team as well. And I'm proud of our guys that kept putting on runs and just kept staying aggressive. It's just like, it's unbelievable, the game we had today.
Tom, go ahead if you have more.
Gabe, well, last week when we talked, you were talking a lot about your, controlling that fastball and kind of hitting your spots with it. It seemed like today you were really in a nice groove with getting it to where you wanted to be, right? Did you feel a lot better with it coming out of your hand?
I felt 10 times better. This was my best start, pitching off my fastball. I think I had like 4 or 5 Ks just, throwing off the front hip to a lefty. And that I've had struggles with that in the past. And over the course of the week, I just kind of kept focusing on glove side fastball. And I think that's going to help me a lot in the future as well.
All right. Anything else for Gabe?
Just one more, if I can.
Go ahead, Carl.
So in that case, would you say that you were doing that today because of the lead, that gave you an opportunity to do that because of how much of a lead the team had?
No, I always have stuff to work on every game. Sometimes I pitch to my strengths, which is my changeup, and sometimes I'll have my fastball and everything else. It's just like, pitching with a lead is important, and I just kept focusing on, thinking like it was a 1-1 ball game going into the ninth, just trying to get our team a win as much as possible. But luckily everything was working today, and had some good stuff.
All right. Thank you, Gabe. We'll have Morgan in just 1 second.
Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you.
All right, Carl, then Tom.
Morgan, congratulations on the great day.
Thank you.
You in particular, and the whole team was very successful at working counts and watching a lot of balls. The team had over 115 balls that you guys watched. Can you just talk about that and how that helped you today?
Oh yeah, so kind of at the beginning of the week, Mercer talked about we needed to work counts better, and we worked a lot on pitch recognition this week, and that really played into all the balls we took this weekend. I mean, we worked on seeing change-up grips and seeing 2 seams all week at practice, so that really played a big part.
Tom?
Morgan, this is 11 o'clock starts, kind of rare. How early were you up this morning, and what was your morning routine like?
This morning I woke up about 6 o'clock, had some scrambled eggs with some toast, and got up to the field around 7 o'clock. Met Drew up here, and we got some swings in early. That's pretty much all we did. Got here about 7. BP started around 9.
Tom, go ahead.
Yep. And Morgan, these last few weeks, it seems like you're hitting the ball hard every time. I mean, how good do you feel up there at the plate in regards to seeing the ball and hitting it to where you want to hit it?
Feeling really good. I mean, the first part of the season, being a freshman, it kind of took me some time to get used to playing baseball at the Division I level and like really feeling like I belonged. But that's changed over the last couple of weeks.
And how much does it help just being out there every day, knowing that you're going to be there?
It feels great.
Anything else for Morgan?
Yeah, I've got one. Morgan,
Go ahead, Carl.
Morgan, you've been occasionally seen doing the going out to right field when you guys come out of the dugout with the really long throws and catches. Can you just talk about that a bit?
Every once in a while, I'll look at Grant, and he'll be like, "All right, go long," and I'll just take off, and he'll bomb it and I'll just run as far as I can. And usually, it's like we had a couple innings where he didn't score any runs, so maybe we're trying to get some energy. So he'll just bomb me deep, and I'll run as far as I can, and hopefully it'll be there.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
All right. We'll start off with Carl, then head to Tom.
Coach, I'll kind of piggyback on what I asked about to Morgan, which is recognizing that you guys watched over 115 balls today go by, and he kind of was talking about you guys working on specific pitch recognitions.
Yeah.
So does that mean can you just talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah. Throughout the course of the year, there's different things obviously you work on through the course of like the preseason. And then once you get into the season, you still continue to coach. And so for us kind of sitting down and diagnosing what do we do well, what are we not doing well, and through a lot of the course of the year for a lot of hitters, the main thing is obviously their swing has to allow them to have success. Like you have to move the bat in a way that allows you to have success. So that's a big part of the preseason. We try to do a lot of pitch recognition and those things throughout the course of the preseason. And then once you get in and you can kind of decipher more specifically what you're good and what you're not good at, we were able to do some different recognition drills that we felt like would be productive. So just some different kind of front toss stuff, some late take stuff, some 4-seam and 2-seam recognition, some different height recognition above the line. We call it above the line, below the line, some different drills that we do, trying to really drive those things home. For us, we have to be able to hit fastballs consistent in the middle of the plate. Well, once you do that, then teams are going to primarily work to off speed, try to flip counts and get you off fastball timing. And we've been getting better at hitting, obviously, on fastball timing and hitting fastballs. And so we're seeing a ton of changeups. And so if you look at what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks, even guys that didn't throw a changeup or changeup was a distant third pitch, they were using that primarily because of our aggressiveness of fastballs. And so we did try to do pitch recognition. A lot of guys throw a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam changeup, trying to make sure that we are recognizing the movement or the seam rotation of a changeup as compared to a fastball, and then making sure that we're recognizing the height of the pitch. And so a lot of it, they're not drills that are necessarily new. There's different variations that are more specific on what you need in that time. And so I think oftentimes teams, everybody wants to start the season 10-0 and we're hitting 350 and with a 1-team ERA, but that's not how it goes. Sometimes you skid or you struggle, and you have to be able to diagnose and make adjustments throughout the course. Once the first game starts, it's literally and figuratively just the beginning of the journey, and you have to adjust and grow throughout the course of the year. And so as coaches, that's what we're constantly trying to do, is to do our job better. And we felt like those were some drills we've done the last 2 weeks that would be impactful, and hopefully they were. And if Morgan was able to communicate that helped, then that's great to hear as well.
Tom, go ahead with any questions you have.
I do. Jeff, you had 3 guys with 3 hits today, Morgan, Colin, and Cole. But I wanted to talk specifically about Morgan and Colin. It seems like, maybe it's just me, but it seems like Morgan hits the ball hard every time. He's really squared up right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's seeing the ball well. He's such a strong kid. He hits the ball so hard. He impacts the ball so hard. He just needed to see pitches. We're talking about he needed opportunity, he needed experience, and he needed experience in good situations. Early on in the year, he was really good against left-handed pitching and not as good against right-handed pitching. And that was a mechanical adjustment. And so for him, he would kind of step back with his back foot, and it kind of cut him across the plate. And so anything that was moving away from him was more of a struggle. So we tried not to put him in those situations. So as he was able to grow with the physicalness of his swing to cover more of the plate, he was able to open himself up to right-handed pitching more successfully. And now he's obviously seen the ball really well. He's really worked on his hit mobility, which has allowed him to be in better positions to be flat through the zone. And he's in a really good spot right now. So it's been big to have those guys in the bottom of the lineup just continue to add. So, we talk about it as an offensive coaching group, trying to add one more offensive player to the lineup each week. Can we get one more guy in the fold that's seeing the ball well and really just having productive at-bats? Offense is obviously not just hitting. And so can you just add one more guy that's having productive offensive at-bats and doing something to move the line along, increase pitch counts, take a hit by pitch, a walk, drive a run in, do something that's impacting the offense in a positive way. And you look at the growth of Morgan from the beginning of the year, and really from when he got here last year to this fall was a nice improvement. And then the beginning of the season, a nice improvement. And you see him grow throughout the season. He's a really physical kid. He hits the ball as hard or harder than anyone that I've seen in person. There's a couple of guys that I can think of, but he is a very gifted hitter.
And on Colin, 3 doubles today.
Yeah, Colin's been really good. Colin's been really good. He's continued to work. He's the kind of the same thing. Switched to a 33-inch bat, which I think has helped, and I think also, just his comfortability in the box. Like he gets in the counts. He's taking pitches. He's working deeper, and when you work deeper, you just kind of settle in, and you're able to kind of calm yourself down and just try to square a ball up. And you see that's what he's done. He knows what he wants. He knows where he wants it at, and he's worked really hard to get to those pitches and not expand the zone. And he's done a really good job. Early in the season, he struggled with off-speed pitches, just the timing and the tempo, and he was pressing a little bit, but he's been able to adjust and to get an off-speed pitch in the strike zone, which primarily they aren't, and then you get a lot more fastballs when obviously you're making a guy work more, and he squared him up, and there's nobody we're happier for than for him.
One last question for you. We talked a little bit Wednesday about, with Minnesota scuffling the way they are, about just getting taking care of business and doing your things, and you did that. But now you've got your final 17 games, all against teams 500 or better. Do you feel like this is sort of a quarter pole type thing where you're into the heat of it now, and the next 5 weeks are going to be pretty entertaining?
Yeah, we're excited. We've worked really hard to put ourselves in this position. There's been some really good weekends for us and some really bad ones, which happens a lot. And so that was the kind of the mantra for us through the course of the season was we just have to keep improving. We have to keep growing, and to put ourselves in a position to be competitive down the stretch and do everything in our power to play the best baseball we can in the last 3 or 4 weeks, knowing full well that we were going to control our own destiny, regardless of what was happening in the beginning of the year. We knew we were going to control our own destiny, and we do that now. And so we go out and play well, then we're going to give ourselves a chance. And if we don't, then we won't. But everything that we want to do is ahead of us. And now it's just up to us to go out and play the caliber of baseball that we know we're capable of. And the game is the game. The game's not going to change. If we're able to play the game the way that we're capable, then we'll be fine. And that's always been our statements. Like we're always competing against ourselves. We're not competing against the laundry on the other team. And that's a cliche statement, but it's a really hard thing mentally to be able to understand, is that you win or lose games as a group. Like if we do what we're supposed to do, we're going to have a chance to win. And if we don't give ourselves those opportunities, and we're going to have those opportunities coming up. And I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to them. You
feel good about where you're at on April 25th?
I feel good about where we're at today. I feel good about where we're at today. We're playing some of our best baseball, and we're getting better. And those young guys are getting better. Our older guys are settled back in, and we played good baseball this weekend. Obviously today we played well. But you could see some of those things coming, playing better baseball the last 2 or 3 weeks. And we just have to keep going. And when you begin to play well, you can't try to do more. You can't try to change. You have to be as consistent as you can, and then slowly make positive adjustments throughout the course. So we'll go back and do that again this week.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, Carl, wrap us up with any questions you have.
Yes. Final questions I have is just you had an opportunity to make some substitutions given the lead. Who impressed you with what they were able to do at that point in the game?
Well, first of all, I was the most happy for Tucker Schenk. He is just an incredible kid, an incredible worker. He's such a positive impact on our program every day. And so he comes in and takes a walk. He always has a competitive at bat. And then for him to get his first career hit, clear the bases with that double, was my highlight of the day personally, just how much respect I have for him. But Vikrama comes in and stings that ball. Jesse comes in and stings the ball. Houston comes in and stings the ball. Mercer put a good swing on it. So it's really nice to see those guys be able to come up and have competitive bats, because as you go down the stretch, matchups, there's going to be some there's going to be obviously some big moments for us that we're going to need to have guys that we feel like have an opportunity to go in and be productive. And then Jeremy coming in and playing a really good second baseman, a couple nice plays. So there were several things that I was really pleased to see, guys coming in and stinging balls and taking care of the ball defensively that give us options down the stretch. Hopefully we don't have any injuries. That's always a part of the game. And you always have to have one eye onto the future and making sure you're prepared if that moment does come.
Can I ask one more question real quick? Since we didn't touch on it, can you just briefly talk about Gabe's performance today?
Yeah, Gabe was outstanding. He's stacked up several really good starts in a row. He was outstanding. Was able to get to this glove side to lefties, the sinker into lefties. It really opens up the whole zone for him. The changeup was really good. Slider to both sides of the plate was outstanding. I know we don't want to have bases loaded and nobody out, but what impressed me was his ability to manage that moment and not let it get away from him, because there's a lot of guys that when you're going good, everything's fine. And you keep on rolling. Hey, you get a single here, a walk there, all of a sudden you got bases loaded and nobody out. And it's easy to kind of get sped up, and he didn't. Gets a ground ball, gets an out, works his way out, ends up giving up one run. And you have to be able to manage and limit the damage. Guys are going to get on base. They're going to get on base. It's what do you do once they're there? And Gabe was able to really keep his composure, keep the pressure on, keep executing pitches, and got out of it. So he's been outstanding for the better part of a month, and was outstanding again today. And it's really good to see. He's worked really hard. He's a terrific kid. So obviously it's great for the team, but it's also something we're excited for him personally.